Hello everyone, it's Carly from the Poetry of Nice. I hope you're all doing well, and I have my weekly sales update video for you guys for Etsy and eBay. So I thought I would just go ahead and share my stats for the week with Etsy as I started out. I don't usually do this, but I figured why not. So 12 orders this week. This runs from sort of Sunday night through to Sunday night where we are today. As you can see, 2,322 views. Most of those were listing views. And then 223 favorites, with most of them being listing favorites as well, and a revenue of $359.40. And that is obviously a gross revenue that is before fees and the cost of items. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of jump in and show you all of the items that I sold on Etsy and then on eBay this week. And what I'll do, I'll let you know the price that the buyer paid for the items. I pretty much don't do free shipping on anything. If I do happen to sell something with free shipping, I will let you guys know. Otherwise, buyer paid shipping as well. And then I'll try and let you guys know sort of where I picked it up, what I paid for that item. And towards the end, I'll let you know what my gross and net profit, so after all of my fees and everything on both platforms are taken into consideration, what that net profit number was for the week. Okay, so here we go. So first one, Etsy, these finally sold. So I got these at a church rummage sale. Oh my goodness, they've probably been up for about 3 months now, I would say. So they're these Nike Air Delta Force high tops. They were extremely awesome, I thought. Only thing is they were sort of, for men's at least, they were a slightly smaller size, 6.5, a little bit bigger, obviously, for in terms of women's size, a bit more accessible, I suppose you could say. I don't know. I think you know what I'm trying to say. But they were very cool. They were very awesome. If they had fit me, I would have kept them. But I paid 90 cents for these at a church rummage sale. And they sold, finally, I hit the sweet spot. I kind of been bringing my price down for a while on eBay and Etsy, and finally they sold for $84.95. These sold, and these are going international. I had a lot of international sales this week. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that, to the point where I genuinely almost called Etsy up to find out if something was happening like in my settings that I couldn't figure out, because I've had like 6 international sales this week and barely any US sales, and my views seem to be lower than usual. So I thought something may have been going on, but anyway, it seems to be picking up a bit better now, but I'll be keeping my eye on it. Anyway, these are going to London, is what I'm trying to tell you. So I paid $3 for these eyeglasses. They were extremely hard to photograph. What you really can't see very well is that this color here that's fading into clear is actually a really beautiful dark, almost emerald green. Really, really pretty. Very hard to show that on the photographs, as you can see, but I hope the person is super happy with them. And paid $3 for these on a lot that I bought on eBay, and they sold for $34.95. This little guy sold. This is the second one of him that I have sold. I paid 25 cents for him at a yard sale a little while back, and he sold just like his other little friend did for $24.95. And he was in pretty good shape. A few marks here and there, but overall pretty good. This I picked up for $1 at a church rummage sale. Again, it was a vintage piece. I'll go ahead and show you guys the label as well. A little bit of cracking. You see here, made in the USA. It was by Lee. You see a little bit of cracking here on the design, but overall no stains or anything like that, which is always very good. And it was a size extra large, so I paid $1 for this, and it sold for $24.95. I'm trying to cash in on football season as much as I can. Whew. Okay, I actually picked this up at the same like yard sale stretch that I did with the Oscar the Grouch, and I paid $1 for this. And what it was these little like metal spice jar things, and they had some pretty cool designs. This was wood, and it had like a place to hang on the back, and then they all had the same design, but they were sort of double-sided, if you will. Anyway, paid $1 for this, made in Japan, and this sold for $19.95. And the buyer also bought this as well. They bought the spice rack and this, interesting combination, and they both went abroad. But this I paid $1.60 at an estate sale not too long ago. It was working, but it was from 1963. It was all made of wood and everything like that. That's different. You can see made in the USA down here as well. Definitely some wear to it, but you're looking for these vintage Fisher-Price toys to be primarily made of wood, not of plastic. There's a lot of reproductions out there now. You know, the retro toys are kind of back in. But yes, very cool piece. Still played wonderfully, and like I said, paid $1.60 for this at an estate sale, and it sold for $14.95. These I picked up at a yard sale not long ago at all. I actually picked these up at the same place. There were some blue Nikes, like these kind of sneaker pumps things that the same style, but they were like Nikes from the 80s maybe, and they sold possibly last week for $40-50, something like that. Well, this is from the same place, and these were not a brand that I was particularly familiar with, but they were in pretty good shape. Definitely kind of awesome if you're into that kind of thing. And they were actually leather, bizarrely, with this like gold tone to them, and they sold for $29.95. Then this is a tie bar, and this piece actually like slid and moved. It was very cool. It took me a while to work out what it was. I guess it's a spirit level or like a ruler. I don't know. Anyway, my keywords obviously worked because it sold, but I paid $1.20 for this at the estate sale, and it sold for $14.95, and it sold within, I would say, like maybe a week and a half. This was kind of an interesting sale. So I paid $2.50 for this a while back. I actually got 4 of these. I got 2 Happy Holidays, and I got 2 that said Merry Christmas. These are reproductions of 70s like Christmas lights, but they are from 1992, these reproductions. So they still class as vintage on Etsy, since they are more than 20 years old. They actually had like color changing lights and stuff, and we actually kept one of the Happy Holidays just because we thought it was awesome, and we'll be putting that up this year. But I got all 4 of them for $10, so $2.50 a piece, and this sold for $49.95. And then the buyer paid, I think I fluffed up on shipping just a little bit. I think I lost about $10 in shipping, which I've learned from that and changed all my other listings. But they paid more than the cost of the item to have it shipped Priority Express to California, to LA. And I was interested, so I looked it up, and it looks like the person who bought it is actually a production designer. So I don't know if this is going to go be something awesome on TV. I'll have to keep my eyes open. But fingers crossed, that would be really cool, right? I would love that. But anyway, good profit, and happy to make that sale. This guy I picked up not long ago at all for $1 at Goodwill. He is from the 1980s. He's a blow mold, all plastic figure. He originally had, I guess, lights in him to glow up, and of course you could go ahead and put some form of lights in him now. I'm positive of that. He was in good shape, but like I said, paid $1, and he sold on Halloween, better late than never, for $29.95. This, I've sold a few of these now. I picked up at a rummage sale for 50 cents, and as kind of standard, I sold it as for $19.95. And the reason I only asked $20, I think you could probably go higher for these. I know some people do. It's one of the pieces of hardware, as you can see. Well, you can't really see, but right there was actually missing. So $19.95, and I'm pretty happy with that for 50 cents. And my last Etsy sale for the week are these 2 vintage Zippo lighters. I way overpaid for these. I would totally not do this again. They are untested. I sold them untested. They both sparked happily when I tried them out, but I did not put any fuel or anything like that in them. And as you will see on the brass one, they're both made in the USA, which is good. There is a lot of wear and whatnot on that one. It's definitely super beat up. So I sold the pair. I paid $2 a piece, which again I would never do again. That was a while ago, and when I was still kind of figuring, I mean, I'm still figuring stuff out, but I was trying to figure out the Zippo thing, I guess, at a rummage sale, and they sold for $9.95 for the pair. So, you know, I still got my money back and turned a profit, but I wouldn't bother again. Okay, so my total gross profit on Etsy, which I told you at the beginning anyway when I showed you my stats, was $359.40. So let me go ahead and show you eBay now. These I picked up at the same place I actually got the Zippo lighters, so I paid $2 for like this little baggie full of these little guys. They were kind of awesome. Some were vintage, some were not. And I had them cross-posted because they also go as like craft supplies and stuff, but I just thought they were like super cool. All about reading and teaching. And they sold the whole lot for $29.95 with buyer paying shipping, so not bad from $2. And then some fabric sold. I actually paid 88 cents for this in a lot when everything was kind of like parted out and whatever. That's how much it cost me. Just a really pretty kind of pale plaid. I think it was a like a polyester double knit. It was very much like 70s, 80s style fabric. But in good shape, no marks, anything like that. Had been cut, very neatly and all that kind of stuff. And just over 2 yards, probably closer to 3 yards actually. And I took a best offer on this for $35. These I picked up at a yard sale quite a while ago. They've been up for a while, and I think the reason they took a little while is one. Well, actually, no, I don't know what I'm talking about. I can only imagine that one of the reasons is that one was open. All the pieces were there. I went through it. There was a few like tears to the packaging and stuff, but all of the bits and pieces were still present and had not been used, and so obviously they went together as a pair. So overall, I paid for these, really, really pretty for these kits, 25 cents for the pair of them, because they were marked 50 cents, like a band around them, and then they were doing everything half price. So 25 cents for both, and I took a best offer of $51.72, and buyer paid shipping. This I picked up, was it last week or the week before? I can't quite remember. And I paid $3 for this at a yard sale. And it is just like a leather flask. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. Flask, it's a flask. And it was marked made in Italy on the bottom, as you can see there. Very, very cool. It was glass inside, and it had some marks around the edge and on the inside of the lid, as you can see, all disclosed in both photos and description. And I took a best offer of this of $20 with buyer paying shipping as well. This I picked up for $1.40. I do very well with these wooden desk trays. Do not be afraid of how beat up they are. I seriously doubt that it matters. In fact, I think this is one of those things where it adds like the patina. It's something that people don't mind at all. But I went back and forth with this person for days actually, and eventually they sort of offered me $17 is where we made it to, and I just thought, go on then, because I had $1.40 in there. I hadn't had any sales all day. Why not? And they paid shipping as well, so that's cool. And I find these quite a lot, especially the estate sales. Always look around the offices at the estate sales. Like I said, do not be afraid if they are beaten up. This I've had for forever. I cannot believe it's sold, especially on eBay. I paid 75 cents for this at a rummage sale, and it sold for $14.99 with buyer paying shipping, so I was happy with that. Just a little wooden wall plaque for the kitchen. These I did. Okay, yes, I picked these up last week for sure. So I guess the other one was a couple of weeks ago. There was 9 of them. They were all still sealed, like these little mini cassettes. I paid 50 cents for a baggie full of them. A couple of little marks on the packaging, as you can see there. And they sold within an hour for $9.99 and buyer paid shipping as well, which I was totally happy with, because the comps were telling me that it was going to be a little bit lower than that. I thought I'd get like $5 out of them, so I put them up at $9.99 just to kind of test the waters. And hey, they sold right away, so that's cool. This I picked up at a yard sale for $1.50. Oh gosh, just maybe 3 to 4 weeks it's been listed now. It was listed on Etsy and eBay simply because it was a slightly older piece. And it sold for $39.99 full asking price with buyer paying shipping. This was a cool find. I thought it was cool anyway. At a church rummage sale not too long ago, there was like nothing at this rummage sale, and everything was just kind of like picked over or overpriced. And then right at the bottom of this hat thing, there was this guy. So this is a vintage, obviously San Antonio Spurs hat. It was in like mint condition. This thing was amazing. And I paid 50 cents for this at that church rummage sale, and I took a best offer of $28 with buyer paying shipping too, which I'm happy with. And then this again is something that I probably wouldn't pick up. I thought they were really cute. I paid $3 per like scrubs top or whatever, and I took a best offer of $10 because this has been listed now for about 8 months, and we're coming into the Christmas season, and I'm happy to wave it goodbye. So probably wouldn't do too many scrub tops again. But anyway, so let me give you my numbers for the week. So my everything that I bought, the total expenditure, like what I spent on items, was $59.73. So after listing fees, final value fees, eBay store fees, all those kind of things, and the cost of the items, my net profit this week on both Etsy and eBay together was $510.70. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging around and listening. I'm sorry I waffled so much. I'm super tired. But give me a thumbs up if you like this. Subscribe if you want to see more for haul videos and sales videos for both Etsy and eBay, mostly vintage items. And guys, I hope you have an amazing week. I will talk to you all soon. Bye.